Dishonored is a 2012 game developed by Arcane Studios, the premise of which is you play as the bodyguard of an empress of a nation, some things go wrong, and you're framed for her murder. To make matters worse, this all happens while a plague of rats is infesting the city. The setting has a lot going on, the aforementioned plague, political tension, and everyone scheming against each other. What a nice place. This game has some people who talk about it as if it's just another stealth game, but it's so much more than that. It's a game that truly lets your creativity as a player shine in how you overcome its challenges. Let's start with the gameplay. Dishonored falls under the category of an immersive sim, which is a genre that could be debated until the end of time if a game is one or not. Basically what this means is it is a game that gives you a level and tons of tools and paths in order to reach the same goal. These tools often interact with the environment or other tools. After you get your powers, you start with Blink, which allows you to teleport to places. This alone can be used in a few ways. You can use it just for traversal, you can use it to get close to an enemy and kill them quickly, or you can use it to blink past enemies to break line of sight for a quick moment. This has applications in both stealth and combat, which is great. Dark Sight allows you to see through walls, Possession allows you to possess animals or even people when it's upgraded, which can allow for alternate paths or setting up ambushes. Devouring Swarm summons a horde of rats which can straight up kill, hide bodies, or be used for the previously mentioned Possession. Wind Blast can also do quite a bit, but its best purpose is mainly funny ledge kills. You can also slow or even stop time. Moving away from the supernatural, you're given a pistol, which mainly does gun things, but it can be very good if used in tandem with the sword. The crossbow works how you'd expect and is your silent option if you want it to be. This has normal bolts, sleep darts for non-lethal, and incendiary for extra lethal. Grenades are grenades. Rewind kits are fun as well and can be used to turn electronics against the enemies. Finally, my beloved, the Spring Razor. This can be used to place traps, which eviscerate enemies. Where these can be placed is what makes this item so fun. In combat, and you want to end it quick, just block and place down their chest. You can attach these to things and then throw them, have them go off like airburst, killing everything around it. What makes Dishonored so fun is how items and powers can interact. It's possible to shoot a crossbow bolt, stop time, place a spring razor on it, and then watch it fly off. Want to put the blood on someone else's hands? Well, stop time right as someone shoots you, possess a person, and walk them in front of their friend's bullet. Adding upgrades you can purchase and collect blueprints for, there's a good amount of choice here, with how you can combine the tools, powers, and environment. You're not just playing a stealth action game, it becomes the Tony Hawk of murder. The only thing missing is a combo meter. If you don't want to run around offing every person in sight, you can also play silent and non-lethal, I guess. The tools you have are more limited, but it can be fun learning new paths to stay out of sight. You're given the ability to choke enemies unconscious and the previously mentioned sleep darts. Blink is very good at staying out of sight. Or you can be a purist and not use powers. It's entirely possible to play most of the game without using Blink and still finish without killing anyone or being spotted. It is just a bit harder. Speaking of difficulty, I recommend very hard due to having better AI as well. This makes combat and stealth feel all the more rewarding. Now we can talk about level design. They really captured the essence of a city that is currently falling apart, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows before the rats showed up. The city is dirty and industrial. They mainly use the harvested oils and fats from whales as its power source, which is neither safe or clean. EPA be damned. The only nice parts you will come to find is where the nobility and anyone in a position of power stays. You even visit a completely destroyed section that is flooded and makes traversal harder. Hidden also in the city are shrines to the occult, worshipping one they call the Outsider, who just happens to be who Corvo, our main character, gets his power from. These shrines often hold runes and charms made out of whale bones, which is used to upgrade powers and abilities as you progress. Speaking of progression, the levels can also change as you go throughout the story and based on how you played. If you go on a murderous rampage, you are playing a role in plunging the city into darker times. This means more rats and more victims of the plague. Targets will also take more extreme methods to protect themselves from you. This is called the Chaos System. This can affect so many things. The previously mentioned levels and enemy placement, character dialogue towards you and about you. You're given a highly reactive character and the Empress's only heir, Emily.
Corvo, you're back!
You are her only remaining role model, and how you act throughout the game will influence her. She'll start talking, saying more dark and extreme things.
Did you kill anybody tonight? How many?
Even the picture she draws will be different. It can be a little heavy-handed at times, but it's a great system overall that reacts to how you play the game. Next is the sound. The game has a good amount of it. NPCs have good delivery. It's just fun to sit and listen to people's conversations to get more insight into the world or find new ways to play the level.
Heretic's brand. It sounds painful. Have you ever seen the ritual? I've never seen the Heretic's brand used. No, it's a rare occurrence. But I did spy the face of one so branded. A former member of our order, of course. Out on a retreat, we passed through a fishing town and saw him begging.
What were his crimes?
Who can say? The brand is reserved for an overseer, or even the High Overseer himself, who violates our codes and must be cast out permanently. Remember the 7 strictures, and you never need worry about such matters.
I will, brother.
The power and tools all get good feedback when used. Even something as simple as blocking and slashing your sword feels good. The music always captures the dark atmosphere pretty perfectly. I never forget the sound of those strings. I thought it sounded familiar playing again, and then I realized, oh, Daniel Licht was also the composer for Dexter. You can hear how haunting it is in places. There's some good stuff here. Alright, so it's time to talk about the story. If you don't want spoilers for a game that came out in 2012, skip to here. Alright, so the story kicks off with our main character, Corvo, returning from a long trip out to other nations to find aid to deal with the current rat plague. He doesn't have any good news on the subject. Corvo is the royal protector of the Empress Jessamine, which essentially means that he is her bodyguard in simpler terms. Corvo first meets the Empress's daughter, Emily, who's glad to see him back after so long. You can play hide and seek with her, which is the game's tutorial for stealth. Corvo also runs into Anton Sokolov painting a portrait of the High Overseer Campbell, the leader of the Overseers, which is an organization that deals in suppressing the occult. Later come back to Anton because he's important. Corvo finds the Empress talking to the royal spymaster, Hiram Burrows. Hiram is surprised because Corvo's back a lot earlier than suspected. He leaves and Corvo can finally deliver the bad news. The Empress is clearly not happy. What she's even more unhappy about is the lack of guards around her. Suddenly, she and Corvo are attacked by assassins, and this is the combat tutorial, teaching you how to swing your sword, block, and shoot. Afterwards, the leader of the assassins, Dowd, steps in and finishes the job himself.
No! Get away from her! Corvo! Help me!
Emily at this point is abducted and the Empress lies on the ground bleeding. Corvo hears her final words, entrusting everything to him, and passes away.
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one. You'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
After this, Hiram and High Overseer Campbell return, and Corvo is accused of killing the Empress. He is arrested and taken to Coldridge Prison. There he is interrogated for months until eventually he receives a mysterious note. Given a chance at escape, he wanders out of his cell and grabs the nearest blade. From here, Corvo can either slash or sneak his way around until he eventually discovers an explosive that was left him to aid in his escape. He blows the main gate and makes for the sewers. There he's left his signature sword and crossbow. After getting past a few more guards, he eventually emerges into the light to find Samuel the boatman.
I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you.
Corvo is then brought to meet the Loyalists who reside in the Hound Pits pub. There he meets Havelock and Pendleton, the leaders of the organization. They explain their plans, and Corvo, dead tired from breaking out of prison and running through sewers, goes to bed. This doesn't exactly turn out as Corvo expects, and he wakes up in a strange place. A bright blue haze surrounds the area, and stone platforms float on nothing. Here he meets the Outsider. The Outsider then gives Corvo his mark, and this allows the use of powers. This next section teaches the player how to use the first power, Blink. Scattered throughout the void are notes the players can read, and there's some things to take in about this place. Corvo is given the Heart, an item that is mainly used to find runes and bone shards, but can also be used on NPCs or in an area to gain further insight into what is going on. After collecting a rune, Corvo then talks to the Outsider one last time and wakes up.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Corvo meets with Havelock and is given his first mission to kill High Overseer Campbell. The first mission is when things truly open up. You have so many paths that you can take to get around, and even some side content to do. You meet Granny Rags for the first time, a mysterious old woman who seems to have some connection with the Outsider.
Oh, my dear husband. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies? The dear things must be starving without their granny. Here, birdies. Here.
After completing some tasks for her, she rewards the player with some more runes. Back onto the main task, you meet Overseer Martin, who's being held in some sort of publicly visible punishment. You free him, and he tells you the High Overseer's plot to murder a fellow Overseer, Kurnow. This is when the game introduces you to non-lethal options for taking down targets.
The Heretic's brand.
You overhear two Overseers talking about a tool called the Heretic's Brand, which can be used to mark people who commit some crimes against the Order. You eventually sneak your way into the meeting place, and after this, the choice is up to you. You can choose so many options here. You have a set of glasses that are set out to poison Kurnow. You can mix them, destroy them, etc. If you destroy them, Campbell sees that he has to do things the hard way.
I owe you an apology, Captain. This is hardly the hospitality I planned for you. Well, time to do this the hard way.
This is where you step in if you want to play non-lethal. Sedating both, you can then drag Campbell to the interrogation chamber and mark him with the Heretic's Brand. This exiles him from society. Stealing his journal and escaping from the area, you meet with Samuel and return to the Hound Pits. Another night's sleep and a mild encounter with some plague victims squatting underneath the pub. You're then tasked with going to the Golden Cat bathhouse. This is where Emily is being held. You also have to kill the brothers of Lord Pendleton who have been staying there. They hold votes in Parliament and cannot be allowed to hold their seats. Being sent out, you see security is tighter, but that won't stop you. You have the Outsider skeleton key after all. Here's where you can meet Slackjaw, who, if you complete Task 4, can get you an easier way into the Golden Cat. He also offers the mission's non-lethal option. All you have to do is break into the cat and find an art dealer and coerce the safe code for his apartment out of him.
Oh, that's good. I deserve that one.
If you do this, Slackjaw will abduct the brothers for you, cut out their tongues, and send them to work in the very mines they run. These non-lethal options are kind of fucked up, aren't they? It seems that just killing them might be doing them a service. Eventually, after more sneaking, or not sneaking around, you find Emily. You and her leave the Golden Cat, and that's the end of the mission. The work isn't over yet. You're immediately sent out to kidnap the royal physician, Anton Sokolov. The man we met at the beginning of the game, painting a portrait, yeah, he's the one who's behind all the high-tech security equipment that you've been running into. The electrical walls and the towers, yeah, that was him. Exploring a bit in this mission, you can run into a shrine where the outsider tells you that he's been trying to contact him about his car's extended warranty. Obviously, the outsider's not having that has left him unanswered despite the messed up rituals. After clearing a path for Samuel to come get you, you make your way to the top of Sokolov's manor where you find him conducting an experiment.
Assassin, help!
I now turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
Holy shit, he just has a woman held prisoner up here. You knock him out and escape to the Hound Pits yet again.
They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and old dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
After some convincing, Sokolov reveals another player in the plot to murder the Empress, Lady Boyle, the mistress of the Lord Regent. The only problem is that he's never seen her face. The only lead that we have into where she might be is a party being thrown at her sister's estate. I hope you brought your dancing shoes.
What most people don't remember is the rats came a half a year before the Empress died. And the plague, too.
Are you sure? That's not how I remember it.
Is something...
This is easily my favorite mission. So far, this is the most extravagant place we've seen in the whole game. You steal an invitation either through having taken it in the art dealer's safe in the Golden Cat mission, or by this careless lady letting it fly into the wind. Once you're inside, the halls are filled with joy and drunken stupor. You already have a mask for this ball. You can walk around freely and enjoy the amenities. You can even sign the guest book. Upstairs, you can sneak into the Boyle's room and find out which one is your target. Eventually, after walking around for a bit, you can meet another guest who already knows what you're going to do. This is the other non-lethal option. He just wants you to capture and bring Lady Boyle to the wine cellar, from which he will take her to his love island, where she can live out the rest of her life, never seeing anyone ever again. Jesus. Or you can just pick the option I did and murder all three sisters and leave the guesswork out. Now it's finally the time. What this has all been leading up to. It's time finally to kill the Lord Regent. You're sent back to the tower where it all started, climbing the water lock where the game started. You make your way through all sorts of security and tons of guards. There's a
To the duty officer.
What the fuck is he so...
A lot to explore. On low chaos, the Lord Regent is in his room, but in high chaos, he is scared shitless.
What is going on down there, General?
There are no reports of any disturbances, Lord Regent.
I don't care. Double the guards anyway. Triple them. Make sure everyone is doing what needs to be done.
Yes, Lord Regent. Since the rooftop is secure, you should stay in the safe room for now. My men and I will ensure no one gets up to you.
Yes, you do that, General.
He is all the way at the top of the tower where the final encounter will take place. Here you can sneak past the final security and finally confront him. He just goes on and on about I've cut through so many people to get to him, and he just wants to know who you are. Taking off your mask to reveal your Corvo, he loses it, but then he quickly says he will kill you and finally have the last piece to cement his place as the leader, as the one who avenged the Empress. Time for a tough fight. I'm so excited. Okay, maybe not. After killing him, you escape and return to the Hound Pits for what should be the last time. You are there, with everyone, celebrating that you finally won. You're handed a drink and there's much to be happy about. You save Emily, drove the Loyalists into a place of power, and killed the ones who killed the Empress. As you begin to head upstairs, strange things start happening. Oh, I've been poisoned. Yeah, a betrayal. That worked out well for the last people in my playthrough. After being saved by Samuel, you turn up in the flooded district. This is where you actually hear Dowd speak for the first time. He knows about the outsider, but he doesn't know about you, and that makes you dangerous to him.
I recognize those marks on your hand. A gift from your friend. The one who talks to you in the dark. Talks to you when you visit his shrines. I visited those shrines too, and I know what it felt like to shove a blade into your Empress. But I don't know you, who you are, and who you fight for. You're a mystery, and I can't allow that.
Being in prison and having your gear stripped from you, it's time to escape. Once you stick a blade into a few assassins, the choice is up to you if you want to recover your gear, which I did. The Flood District is filled with victims of the plague and these crustacean things which just spit at you. Once you get past them and collect the gear, it's time to make a dash towards Dowd. Sneaking or fighting past his assassins, you encounter him. Here you can either choose to be direct or steal from him to humiliate him. I chose the latter, because why not? After getting out of Dowd's clutches, you start making your way out of the district. There's even more Weepers and guards blocking the path. You even see Granny Rags and Slackjaw for the last time. Here you have the choice if you want to help Slackjaw escape, or turn him into soup.
Go on.
Seeing as you get a rune if you help her, I made the soup. Sorry, Slackjaw. Eventually you make your way back to the Hound's Pit. It is overrun with guards and in high chaos the bodies of the former Loyalists. Havelock, Martin, and Pendleton went mad and killed pretty much every member to cover their tracks. In this section, you can go to Havelock's old room and find some blueprints. If you bring these to Piero and Sokolov, you can help them complete a massive arc pylon that can knock everyone unconscious or turn them into ash. I think you know which one I picked.
Amazing, simply amazing.
After finding a key on the body, you can find a flare gun in Emily's room, which calls Samuel back to the pub.
Thought I'd find you here. It never pays to bet against you, does it? I saw the signal. I knew you'd be back, Corvo. I knew it.
The true final mission. A giant tower that was being built by Hiram before he met his end. This mission has 2 maps depending on if you're playing in high or low chaos. Samuel exchanges more dialogue before dropping you off, depending on how you played. This mission is a true gauntlet. It's filled to the brim with guards, towers, and walls of light. You need to use all your skills to navigate this one. You come in the courtyard of the tower where Martin and Pendleton are spitting insults at each other. Eventually, Martin takes a shot at Pendleton. You're left with the choice of what to do now. I killed Martin and made my way up to Pendleton to hear his last words. As he was shot by Martin and bleeding out,
First my brothers, now me. It's my own fault.
Corvo, I knew you would get here. Well, you're too late. I'm already dying without your help. A stray bullet. I'll never know whose. What could I offer you anyway? You want money? Well, I'm broke. Women, maybe? Everyone knows you were screwing the Empress. You like noble women. You should meet my cousin Celia. At least I outlived Martin. Good breeding always rises above.
Making your way up through more guards, you eventually make it to the top of the tower. It shows the extravagance of the previous ruler well up here. The only thing left to do now is find Emily.
Done such things, cowardly things that I'm ashamed of. How could anyone ever forgive us? Would they? Even if things are better? No, that's not how it works. Once the bureaucrats step in, everything gets muddy. If anyone ever knew, we'd all lose our heads for this. So no one can know. And could we ever control Emily with Corvo around? That's the question that sticks in my mind. We need to make our final move, and we need to make it cleanly. No loose ends. Only a few in the know. The ones with the most to lose.
No! Let me go!
Quiet! And move already, child! Hold still, stupid girl.
You find her and Havelock up here arguing. You can make your presence be known to hear some more dialogue, but we can also take the easier way and gun him down before he notices.
And an Empress can...
Help me! I always knew you would come. You're my hero.
The others are all dead, aren't they? That's alright, because I was going to have them killed anyway. I am going to be Empress.
Emily is about to fall off the ledge, but we manage to save her. Then the game plays one of your endings based on what happened throughout your playthrough. Dishonored easily makes its way onto a list of my all-time favorite games. The amount of immersion in the city and the freedom of gameplay turn this into a gem. Not many games that come out nowadays give their players the sheer amount of options and room for creativity that this one does. This game also has a full DLC where you play as Dog, with new powers and some new choices. Dishonored would get a sequel 4 years after, and I might cover it at some point. Sadly, we won't ever get another game in the series because Arcane is dead. Thank you, Redfall. This was first for me trying out a new type of video. I hope you stuck around to the end because I will be working on more things. I have a list of games lined up to make more videos about as we speak. Thank you for watching. Until next time.